All right, here's my lane detection code. We first start off by importing all of the possible necessary things we'll need. We then have a snip image function, which is goes in hand with the masked image function, and all they're basically doing is assuring that we're looking at the area that we should be looking at, and we're not focusing on a bunch of area around. So it's going to take just a square image essentially of the lanes that we're dealing with rather than looking at everything that's all around it. We move down, and the next thing is the thresh image, and what this is basically doing is making it either grayscale or HSV, and just kind of making the colors in the picture easier to read for the computer so we get better results. Next, we get a blur image, which does a lot in reducing noise and other things such as this, so that the code can once again better process things. Edge image is going to be detecting the actual edges of the lines in the road so that we can get our lane lines. Image lines is just printing out the HUF lines, and then plotting the HUF lines is another function. I added in these if-else statements just to avoid an error that I kept getting about not getting a reading and then the whole code would stop. Averaging these is then how we get one steady line instead of multiple HUF lines. So we get all the HUF lines, and then to sort them into left and right, we do this, and then we follow it by 2 for loops. And then we essentially say if it's on the left half of the screen to put it in the left radius and left theta arrays. And if it's on the right side, then we put it in the right side. We then do the means of each one of those, which allows us to get one line instead of multiple lines. And then we plot those lines. These extra commands right here are what's going to change the color, because if we come back up here, we can see at the end, this will be changing the color of each side. This is us actually bringing the video in. I found this online along with a friend, and we were able to get it in, and then we actually run through all the functions for each frame of the video, which allows us to do it. And then we move down to the main function, which is us just running through the basic stuff we did in class. So first I will run the stuff we did in class. And as you can see, we get a different color for each side of the line, and we can see that it's pretty well aligned. And then by turning certain things on and off, we should be able to get the videos. All right, let's give it a go. And here's the first video. You can see at first that it doesn't do too well, but then once you get into the lane and stay there, you get a pretty good reading. It blinks. I believe this could be fixed a little bit by creating some sort of function that instead of there being essentially just dots, it connects the dots along the way to create a steadier line, such as this. So that's a function that you could add in to better help this. And then for video 2, what I found was it worked better with the grayscale. So right now I have the grayscale commented out, but I will uncomment that, and I will comment the HSV instead. And then I will just come down here and change in my main function this from being vid1 to vid2. And we'll play that. As you can see, this one does not work as well. I think this is majorly due to the lighting. This probably could be fixed by better adjusting the thresholds in the threshold function. But it does somewhat have a good idea of what's going on with the blue line and the red line attempting. So yeah, that is my code.